You bring up one small concern. Maybe something they said, maybe something that hurt. And within minutes, the conversation is no longer about what happened. Now you're explaining your tone, your memory, your intentions. You try to stay focused on the original issue, but something has already shifted. Now you're trying to prove you're not overreacting, trying to explain what you meant, trying to defend who you are instead of discussing what happened. And you may notice yourself going back over details again and again just to sound clear. Your body may sense the shift before your mind explains it. You may feel mentally scrambled while still trying to stay calm. You may recognize the moment when your concern stops being the focus. Now the conversation is centered around defending yourself instead. Some people describe this as a narcissistic communication pattern when it happens repeatedly. Not because every disagreement is narcissism, but because the interaction repeatedly begins organizing around one person's perspective while the other person's experience loses space. Protecting their position can become more important than understanding the issue. And resolution starts getting replaced by redirection. What this often does is move the conversation away from the original concern, from what you were trying to address, to whether you're allowed to feel that way at all. If your concern is fully explored, the issue becomes harder to avoid. But if the conversation shifts into defending yourself, the original concern can lose focus before clarity fully forms. The interaction starts to center around correcting you instead of understanding you. The focus begins moving toward your reactions, your wording, or your delivery, and your original point slowly loses space. Now you're responding to accusations or misunderstandings instead of finishing your thought. Your point never fully gets explored. Over time, this can feel mentally exhausting. It can leave you wondering why conversations never seem to resolve clearly. Anyone can feel confused in a conversation that keeps changing shape. Many people respond to this by explaining more, speaking faster, or trying harder to sound reasonable. But the harder they try to clarify, the further the conversation sometimes moves away from the original issue. In healthy conflict, the goal is understanding the issue, not defeating the person raising it. Healthy conversations stay with the concern long enough to create understanding. Healthy conversations help you leave with more clarity, not more self-doubt. If this happens once, it may be misunderstanding. But when it repeats, a pattern can form. Feeling confused afterward can be information, not failure. Your confusion may be telling you something important about the interaction itself. Recognizing this can bring clarity, because it helps explain why the conversation keeps moving away from the issue and toward defending yourself instead. If this helped put words to your experience, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This channel exists to help you recognize narcissistic and manipulative patterns calmly, clearly, and without blame, so you can understand what's happening and trust yourself again. And when conversations unfold this way, another pattern often begins to form. In the next video, we're going to explain why they avoid answering your questions during conflict and how that pattern keeps the conversation from resolving. Click here to watch.